All right. I think we're going, we're live. What an exciting day. I've been waiting for this for so long. There were rumors that this would be out last year, at the end of last year type of thing. Everybody had a different opinion about what was going on. And I noticed in the X for Records Discord, Steve Duda, the developer, last week was saying, I can't remember what it was, but there was one issue that they were having that they needed to fix before, and I guess he was getting a little irritated about people announcing the launch or doing videos about it before it was even released. So anyways, it's been released today. I hadn't seen this yet, and I'm so happy about this. We're going to go through a whole bunch of the new features, and I'm going to be I'll be playing around with this a lot in the next little while. I'll be doing a few live streams about this, but this is going to be my first look. I loaded it up a few minutes ago. If you have Serum 1, it's a free update. And you'll notice I ended up taking a screenshot of it before. So you'll see something like this when you go into your account. You'll have upgrade to Serum 2. When you go there, it will let you upgrade and ask you if you want to do a tip. But it's a free update. If you do want to support, I sent a $5 tip, and I didn't get a receipt though, which is weird. If you guys did it through Stripe, let me know if you got a receipt, or maybe it doesn't send them automatically, but anyways. And so once you do that, it was really slow. If you're trying to update right now, you're probably having issues because everybody's trying to update at the same time. So it took a while for the order to go through, like for the update and for the upgrade, and it took a while to be able to download it. Once you've got it set up, you'll get an email saying you're upgraded. You don't need a serial number. It'll do it based, I guess it's doing it based on the old Serum. Anyways, when you load it up, it'll go to the website. That took a little bit too, because it was crashing on me, but just too many people trying to upgrade at the same time. But I didn't even have to enter anything or like log back in. It basically just loaded a website, and then it said you're good to go. And we are here. And it looks pretty close. I'm actually hoping there are different skins, because I feel like I'd want it to look completely different. But anyways, it's pretty close, but there are a few very interesting things about it that I noticed right away. First of all, these here, you've got the wavetable, which is what Serum has been built around for forever. And but you've got some different ones here. You've got multi-sample, a sample, granular, which is interesting, and spectral. The spectral looks really interesting. Okay, we'll have to... Earlier when I did it, there we go. It'll give you... So I haven't played around with this one yet, and this will take a little bit to figure out. It looks a little bit like the stuff that comes out of RX10 or those. And Iris, I don't know if you guys ever used Iris 2 from Native Instruments. I think it's... I never know. Native Instruments or Isotope, they're so close together now that can't remember which. I think it was Native anyways, whichever one it was, Iris 2 was amazing, and I hope they do an update to it. And I'm hoping that that's a little bit what this is. So the sounds you could get out of that, like just especially for like pads and backgrounds, was amazing. So hopefully there's some of it with that. One thing I noticed right away is these are the factory settings. These are the Serum 2 settings, but it also has the Serum 1 presets. And I know what you're wondering. Will the Serum 1 presets that you've been buying for years, will they work in here? Yes, they will. The only thing is you can't replace the actual instance of Serum that you were using. Like if you're using a track that had Serum 1, you can't just when you load up Serum 2, it won't replace Serum 1. So the best way to do it would just be to save whatever you're working on as a preset temporarily, and then load up Serum 2, load it in there, and it should sound the same. And yeah, so, and I remember Steve Duda mentioning that they put a lot of work in getting these, like the Serum 1 presets to work in here, which I can imagine if they're rebuilding the whole plugin. And yeah, we're lucky they have that. And yeah, it probably would have been ready way before if they didn't have to do that, because it apparently was a huge project. But anyways, all the Serum 1 presets are there. And of course you can, oh, there we go. Oh, wow. Okay. This is even better than I thought. Oh, I thought I was going to have to bring in all of my Serum 1 presets into here, but it's got them already. So these are all the Serum 1 presets, like all the packs that I bought over the years. That's amazing. I really didn't think, I thought I would have to make a copy of them and then make a copy of the wavetables and all. Wow. Let's just see if one of them loads here. Okay. I'm impressed. Yeah. Wow. This is okay. This is going to be a lot of fun. And you'll notice little differences here. The noise, it used to be here under the sub. I should just load up the Serum on a different track. In case, anyways, look at this one for now. But anyways, yeah, you had the sub and then the noise underneath. So that's moved around. You've got 3 oscillators now instead of 2. 2 filters. That's new as well. The biggest thing, I'm going to jump right into the effects here. And I noticed this. First of all, it looks quite a bit different. You've got a nicer look on all of these. I don't know if they changed the reverb. I've mentioned this before. Like, that's the only thing I didn't like about Serum 1 is the sound of the reverb. And most people love it. And I've talked to people and I said, do you have a problem with it? They're like, no, I love the reverb in there. So I don't know if it's just a me thing, but I've never been a huge fan of the reverb in there. Oh yeah, this has some new stuff because it didn't have like nitrous bases. So it's got, okay, so that's good. Let's just, actually I'm just going to try this with a pluck. I'll just go with one of the new presets here. So if we go to the reverb here, so I was hoping if we click on this, it would just jump to it, but it's interesting. There's like, it adds variation almost, or is that, oh no, okay, that's in the sound itself. Anyways, the reverb does sound nice. Okay. So the one thing I didn't like about it, they fixed. Well, not fixed because there was nothing wrong with it. It was just, I wasn't a fan of it. But this is the biggest thing. We've got reverb here. And if we wanted to, well, you can tell already there's 3 reverbs here. And that's another thing that was missing in Serum 1 was if you loaded an effect, you had one instance of each effect. And over here, it looks like we've got, so we can add, let's add a bunch of delays. Just trying to add stuff that'll be very noticeable. So if we change this one. We'll do this one short on. So yeah, so we can add multiple instances of the same effect, which is really nice. And we should be able to move them around. Yeah, we can still move them around the same way we could before. We can have as many as we want. That is fantastic. I like the way they did it here too. It's like plus effect, you add it, it's done. So yeah, I'm really, really happy about that. The arpeggiator is built in now, which is very interesting. Oh, okay, we'll have to get rid of especially those delays that we just added. And so I'm assuming We can go here. Okay, so that's interesting because they had Expert Records had, was it Cthulhu, which was more than just an arpeggiator, but that was at the base of it. There was a lot of stuff that was based around. Is that the one? Yeah, I think so. And it seems like it's got some similar things that they brought from there into here. But it's nice to have that. I don't know if there are presets. Probably not. But I was wondering if there were any arpeggiator presets built in, which would be nice. But yeah. Oh, hold on. What? I mean, looks like there's only a few, but... So I'm assuming, I just want to see the fact that this is a keyboard here. It almost looks like we can use some of the bass notes. No, yeah, way down. So I'd have to transpose so I can use, so even this one might be quicker on here. Okay, so we can use the notes from a piano to select which arp we want. Wow, okay. So it doesn't seem like there are that many because there are only a couple of them here, but I mean, each one has a bunch of arpeggiators in there. Okay, this is going to be useful. And then clip, this part changes everything. Like, I've never seen it this extensive in a plugin. Like, this is basically taking what we have here in Ableton Live and taking the MIDI clips here that we can loop, and it's bringing it right into the plugin itself. So we're getting patterns in it. And I mean, you'll have something similar in some, like if we go to the Elements, Waves Element plugin, I'll show you. It's got, why is it so slow? So you've got a little bit of a pattern type thing here where you can have a pattern going, but this is a lot more than that. Like these clips here, you can actually, you've got a piano roll to do MIDI. It looks like, yeah, you can change the length. You can, like, this is basically a little Ableton Live session view built into the plugin. Wow. I'll try. That's just one of the built-in ones. Okay, I doubt we can do this, but I'm just curious, just in case. I'm gonna put a couple of, I'm just wondering what happens if we drop a MIDI. No, okay. I was wondering if we could drop a MIDI pattern into this, which would be game changer. There might be a way to import, but anyways. But yeah, so we can change stuff here. We can, I wonder, okay, so we can delete some of the notes here. Oh, see, the ARP is still on. That's interesting. So we can have both of them going at once. Oh, that's very interesting. So we'll remove the ARP. I actually want to, I'll leave those notes in and remove this. Okay, so if we go to this third one, which I'm assuming is this key here, there we go. And it's gonna be out of key. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do, okay, so what I want is just this part here. So we'll reduce the length. Oh, wow. They really put in a lot. Wow. Just the fact that we can do this and it shows up the same way as it would here if we were to do the length here at the bottom. What? getting tired of this preset. So let's go to some of the piano ones. So that was the first thing I tried. Okay, so when we start a new preset, it cleared this, which means that these are saved in the preset, which is sort of interesting. So you're able to save, man, if you're doing live performance, you're able to save like one note, like loops that you can trigger with one note. And you can have a whole bunch of patterns built into just that plugin instance. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so let's just I want to see if, oh, yeah, so he did the same thing as in Ableton Live. If we have these notes, we want to go down an octave, you just hit shift, you select them, hit shift, it goes down an octave. Like in a plugin, anyways, this doesn't, wow. Yeah, I'm, okay. So if we hit play, why isn't it playing? Okay, so we'll have to go to this third one and so we can, wait, what is this? What? You actually have a mixer built in? I was not expecting this much. I've never seen a plugin be updated with this many new things. But anyways, so we actually have a mixer for the oscillators. So we can bring, it's weird though, because level 0. So you can pan the oscillators right from here. I'm assuming this is the oscillators. Yeah, oscillator ABC. And then main. Okay, direct is probably like we had for the sub 4. Is this an EQ built in or? Okay, I'm not sure what this one is. I'm just trying to figure out how to bring it down because it almost like these are all down so we can minus. Oh, they may be down already over here. Let's just see. Okay, I'll have to play around with this mixer a little bit more, but anyways, I wasn't expecting that. So if we go here, we add some delay. We'll add just a really short delay. Maybe 16th and then 8th. And then if we add a filter, we'll take this filter here. We'll bring it down to the end. And we can, oh, there's a DJ mixer. This is interesting because Ableton Live just updated their filters and they put in a DJ filter. And I did a live stream, was it Friday? I think it was. And whichever day it came out, the latest update came out. And that was the thing that I was probably the most excited about, even though for most people it's not really a big deal. DJ, like on a DJ controller or on a mixer, you'll have the filter, but as you go down, it's basically a high pass and a low pass filter, but built into one knob. So if you go way down, you'll have the sound really, muffled and it's like a low pass. And then as you get higher, you get the high frequencies and get rid of the low end. So it's really nice to be able, let's see if we can try it. See, this has no low end at all. But then here, it starts to get rid of the low end and it's just, you can tell, even on the right over here, you can tell what it's doing. And it's just switching it over, like at 0, it's just switching from a low pass to a high pass. But it's just nice to be able to get some effects, especially if you go really quickly. Which you could do with 2 filters, but it'd be a lot of work. Or you could build something, you know, as an instrument rack and to do this, but it's nice when this is built in. But anyways, I want a low pass filter on here. Yeah, I really like this. So, okay, multiple effects. That's amazing. And let's try some of these presets and see what we can get. I might even, what I'll do here, just to make it a little quicker to get an interesting sound out of it, I'll just throw, let's see where the sound, and without the arpeggiator. You see this? Oh, hold on, I'll move it and make it a little bit bigger. You guys see this new LFO? I guess the Chaos LFO. Instead of having just a normal. These look amazing. Okay. Let's just see on a, just do a piano sound, and I will turn on. Just go through a few of these presets with a simple. I like the sound of this for lo-fi music. Okay, we'll go to keyboard. This one sounds interesting. It's like Chaos LFO again. Not sure what it's let's see what it's controlling here. LFO 1. LFO 9. Because it used to be, you could add like, it used to be, you'd have 4 LFOs, I think it was on, like, that would show up. And as you added more, they would add, but now it looks like they added all 10, like right on the main screen. LFO 1, there we go. The fine. So this is just adjusting, just the fine tuning. So if we take it and let's go back here. If we make it, I don't know, just a little. Yeah, you can tell that level's moving around a little bit more. Compare. Okay. So interesting. I like the look of it. Though it's like I keep staring at it. I feel like I can't get work done around anything else. But oh, that's interesting. So when the sound's going through, it's going and it stops. But the interesting thing is, it's not when I stop pressing the note. It's actually when the release is completely, when the decay is completely done, like when there's nothing going, no sound going through. That's very interesting. Yeah. So I'm just looking here. So the sub is pretty well what we had before. Pan that you usually won't use on a sub, but it's good that we can. You can adjust the phasing if you're having issues. That's new, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not, actually. You might have always had the phase on there, but it's basically the the start point. Okay, so we've got that. The 2 filters, which is really interesting. That's happened a lot, that we tend to use one filter to basically on one of these LFOs just to open it up. As you're hitting a note, a lot of the time you want the filter to open up and then just close up, but then your filter is gone. You were able to go here to the effects and use another filter here to do other stuff, but it's a lot nicer to be able to do it right on here. But then again, you only had one other filter and you might have been using that for something else. So the fact that we have that other filter, those 2 filters, and then as many as we want here, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's really interesting. I want to look and see if this was the announcement that came out today, and it says features that most of you wanted are there. And oh yeah, and that's something too. If you don't have Serum 1 yet, it's actually, they're selling it for the same price. It used to be $189 for Serum 1. Serum 2 is the same price as Serum 1 was, but they're doing a sale until June 1st. And if you know Expert Records, they never do sales. Like, it's never on sale. It may have been at some point. I don't want to say absolutely never. I know they've had educational discounts and stuff like that, but I've never seen a sale. So anyways, that's sort of interesting that they do have that for now, but the price will be going up. And honestly, it's probably worth, like, this is the plugin that I use the most, and I've never ever regretted what I paid for it, like, ever. And I think the fact that they don't do sales is probably part of it too, because you don't feel like, okay, I paid $200 and then the next week it's down to $39 and you're like, oh, you know. So yeah, and then they do the lifetime free updates. Like I said earlier, like from Serum 1 to Serum 2, you don't have to pay anything. You could give them something if you wanted as a tip, but basically, yeah, it's the free updates. And yeah, this will be really, really interesting. No, there was something else. Oh yeah, I wanted to check this. There's something else I was going to say about that too, but I don't know. Oh yeah, if you do get it, I'm not sure if this is available on Splice yet, but the Serum 1 was on Splice. You were able to pay for it by month for, I don't know, whatever it was, and it's a good way to do it. So if you don't have the money for this right now, then again, I'm not sure if they're going to do the sale on Splice. I'm not sure if they're going to do Serum 2 on Splice, but anyways, that's always an option. And okay, so let's just look at some of the features that they said that they've got. So the wavetable, the multi-sample, which one of these piano plugins, presets that I tried earlier, can't remember which one it was. Okay, we're going to get rid of this arpeggiator, but I just... So this one does use the multi-samples. Actually, all 3 of them are... That's why it sounds so much like a real piano. And I'm assuming what the multi-sample is a little bit of round robin, because you can tell I'm playing this note and it's going up and down. So I'm assuming it's, if you don't know what a round robin is basically when you're playing the same note, instead of always having the same sample when you press the note, you'll have, it basically randomizes between a few different key presses of that same, samples of that same note. So it doesn't always sound exactly the same. It'll sound almost the same because you don't want it to be, much different, because then it's, it doesn't sound natural. But it's supposed to replicate, if you're playing an instrument, you won't be hitting it exactly the same way every single time. So, okay, so yeah. Let's go back here. Multi-sample, the sample oscillator. which I'm assuming is a little bit like simpler if you're using Ableton Live. And you're able to take your, I think you're able to bring your sounds in. A rate control for tape stop effects and similar. Interesting. The granular, and granular is like a whole, it's a whole beast on its own, and it makes some interesting sounds. There's one thing I don't like about the Granulator 3 in Ableton Live, and I'm hoping this is a little bit different, unless I haven't figured out how to do it. Sometimes it'll tend to sound a little bit choppy. It's basically just jumping between samples, and I'm hoping there's a way to just smooth out the feel of it. Anyways, I'll have to look at this one, and then the spectral that we were talking about earlier. And here, 626 presets, 288 wavetables. It sounds like it's more wavetables than they had before. And of course, all of your regular presets can come in. So if you take this random, I take this random preset, but then you can change it up with the stuff that's in Serum 2, and then save it as a Serum 2 preset, and and build from there. So very interesting. The envelopes seem pretty well the same. I don't know if there's that much you can do on an envelope, but and then this section here looks pretty well the same. Yeah, so your portamento, which sounds good. I don't know. It feels, I don't know. The portamento might be the same in every plugin, but I always found it sounds really nice in here. And if you want to have mono, so if you want to be able to just play one note at a time, especially for bass, where you don't want to have two overlapping notes that it doesn't sound right. This is the same as in Serum 1. The funny thing is I was actually going to do, I think this week or next week, I was going to do a video about features that you didn't know, things you didn't know you could do in Serum 1. And then now I'm not sure if I want to do it anymore because this is out. I might wait a little bit and then still release it for people, because you can still use Serum 1. Like it doesn't replace your... Oh, did that just crash? Oh, no, okay. It doesn't replace... Like you still have Serum 1 because, like I said earlier, it doesn't replace the actual instance of it. It's a completely different plugin. But... let's just see, Serum. I'll just add Serum on here. So yeah, you still have access to it, and some people will continue to use this. There's, there may be some sound that you like that comes out of this that doesn't sound exactly the same on the other one. So I'll still do the video at some point, but I think I'll wait off for a while. I'll do more Serum 2 stuff. I'm going to sit around and play around with this so I can really tell you, okay, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. The global stuff, yeah, see, there's a lot more going on here. MPE enabled by default. I would want that on. So we're going to have to look at these. So some stuff in here, but I can't. Yeah, we're going to have to look at this stuff here, see what is going on with these. Voice control, and it looks like you can save them. Voice pan. Okay, we're going to have to play around with this at some point. High quality. The tuning. You can even load tuning files, which I'm assuming is you might be able to use the scale files or whatever. Anyways, okay, there's some interesting stuff here. There's something I noticed I forgot to mention here. Here, for the multisample oscillator, it uses SFZ, which I can't remember which plugin. There's a player, sort of like there's Contact, but there's a more open source type player that uses this format, and probably have, I wonder if I can just search here. I probably have stuff already that's in SFZ for I'm Canadian, but probably the rest of the world is SFZ. I'm wondering if we can. Yeah, I'm wondering if we can. Anyways, I'll have to look through this and see if we might be able to load existing files. Like, that'd be really interesting, because if you have instruments that are built for something else, we might be able to bring them into there either automatically or very easily. So that's something I want to keep an eye on. I love the idea of this mixer. Oh, see, it's doing what I set here on the global. So I guess every time I press it. Oh, so it's almost. Oh. So if we want to have it here. So each step, it's actually doing it by steps, not by length, but you can tell if you're listening on headphones or on monitors, it's going left and right, and then the detune, let's see. Oh yeah, you can tell just this. Every third note, we're going to detune it a lot, so we can tell. You can tell every third note out of 6, and then how do we have it? Okay, there we go. Oh wow, I can imagine some interest. Well, just this makes the bass line so much more interesting. Huh. Okay, and then we can deal with the cutoff as well. Oh. It's weird that they would drop this under global, because it feels like it always feels like global is like the little, the settings section that you don't use, but I could see this be very useful. Like, I feel like this should be front and center, even though there's no more space on there, but interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, there's some stuff there we'll be able to play around with. I want to make a bunch of presets for this too in the next little while. So, okay. So I guess that's what we have as a first look at this. I think we're going to be able to have some fun with this, because, there's drum kits too. With the multi-samples, now they're able to, this wasn't possible before. You've got a whole drum kit. What? Okay, you've got a whole drum kit built into it. This is exciting. There's so much you're able to do in this. Like, it's not even just a synth anymore. It's basically a sampler, but it's even more than just a synth and a sampler. Like, wow, we'll be able to do it. Okay, let's just look real quick if there are any of these categories that sound effects, soundscapes. Try the. Yeah, you've got a lot more levels to it, because you've got a mix of you can have a mix of a synthesizer and samples. You can really have some layers on there. So, okay, some interesting stuff, and I'll play around with this and see what I can come up with, and I'll do a bunch of these, either streams or videos, depending on what I find out about this, or what I find and the best way to use it. But anyways, thanks for watching, and make sure you go out and get your Serum 2 if you have Serum already, because you're going to have a lot of fun with this. And hopefully their servers will be a little bit calmed down a little bit now that quite a few people have downloaded it already, so we're not all going on at the same time. So anyway.